Welcome to the Delicious Legacies Barbecue Feast Ancient Style. A very special day where we see how to party like a philosopher in a symposium in ancient Athens, and how to prepare and cook some 2,000-year-old recipes. Come into my garden. Let's start with the fire. Well, two fires actually. One for the slow smoking of the meat, one for the rest of the char grill meat. Top tip from the best pitmasters. Light the fire from the top, using some natural fire lighters, small dried woods, and finally, at the bottom of the pile, some big ones. My wood fire will take a while until it's ready, but that's okay. We need to prep some snacks and salads too. Firstly, let's investigate our ancient herb and spice mix rub for the pork shoulder and the ribs. Black pepper, coriander seeds, anise seeds, cumin seeds, thyme, long pepper, fennel seeds, grains of paradise. Toast them in a dry pan lightly and grind them in a pestle and mortar until they are a lovely powder which will massage into our super gorgeous pork. Just like modern US barbecue connoisseurs, the ancients loved the smoky, salty, fiery delights. Our affection for the sweet taste that smoke molecules produce is obviously timeless. And how do we know this? In the dry desert of Egypt, archaeologists discovered a bunch of papyrus texts full of recipes, private letters and contracts of salted pork, wine and beer transactions. This was at the ancient rubbish dump of the city of Oxyrhynchus, a Greek-Egyptian town of the Roman Empire 2,000 years ago. One of the recipes talks of cured pork in a wine and herb sauce. But instead of chilies and hot sauces, sugar and paprika, all those thousands of years ago, they used grape juice, wine, anise seeds, coriander seeds, vinegar, black pepper and honey. On Acast, I have a whole episode about these recipes and the story behind their discovery. Have a listen. You can see on the barbecue already the pork shoulder, which I had been brining overnight and marinating with the same rub. It needs longer than the ribs, of course, so it went on earlier. Something like 4.5 hours in total, compared to the 2 hours more or less for the ribs. This is my ancient style barbecue sauce, inspired of course by authentic 1,000-year-old recipes, but also by the popularity of modern USA style barbecue smoking techniques. I decided to make my pork recipe in this style. Instead of chilies, of course, and sugar, we'll use the ancient equivalent of mustard, pepper, honey, alongside with grapes, wine, vinegar for those sweet, sticky and sour notes. Let's make it. The sauce is bubbling away, reducing and thickening nicely. Viscous, sticky, grape and honey sauce, ready to slather on our pork shoulder while it's smoking. Oops, a little snacky now. Grab the remains of the kokoretsi offal kebab off the fire and let the snacking begin. Of course I'm gonna share with my gang of hungry philosophers. This sharing with friends, the feasts, drinking, laughing, is why we're doing this. That's the exact point. Any excuse for this. An ancient meat feast for our bellies and for your eyes. The pleasure of now, but of past too. This feeling of stepping back in time, but bringing the remoteness of it here, so we can experience it. That's what I want to create, a new luxurious symposium. Just like we're in the 3rd century BCE, This is a celebration of food and culture through time, a sensual exploration of the ancient everyday life. Nothing brings us closer together than the smoke, the sunshine, the wine, the food prepared with love. It makes us laugh, it makes us hungry. This wouldn't be a homage to ancient Greece, of course, without the next three dishes. Well, skewers. The labors of Hercules. Barbecue skewers done ancient style. The souvlaki street snack of the ancient everyday Athenian citizen. According to the myth, Hercules was sent to a mission by the gods to complete a set of tasks known as the labors, in order to atone for his sins. As a penance, these tasks were set to him by his cunning and evil cousin, the king of Tyrrhens, Eurystheus. So, from the Cretan bull, Erymanthian boar, and Stymphalian birds, from the cuts of mythical man-eating creatures, I've created three different recipes. One with beef, one with pork, one with chicken, with my ancient marinades. So we have beef in sweet wine, black pepper, bay leaves, vinegar, fish sauce. Pork marinating in wine, mustard, vinegar, honey, garlic and ginger. Chicken in yogurt, salt, fenugreek, silphium and ginger. So let's start cooking the onglet beef. My charcoal is all nice and white, covered in ash, hot and ready for barbecuing all my skewers. A quick sear on all sides, it's all we need here. It'll be ready in a few minutes. We are ravenous, and this will be our first proper starter of the day, one to share between all of us, before the main meat event. No souvlaki exists without some pita bread, and pita tastes great on charcoal. Onglet steak is ready. Look at that tender beauty. Before I forget, we need some smoked feta to accompany our meal, don't you think? And a cucumber salad. A simple salad really, with a dressing of olive oil, fish sauce, vinegar, peppermint and sweet red wine. The feta is lovingly smoked and after an hour or so ready to tuck in. Double-baked barley rusks with feta and marinated cucumber, a recipe from ancient Rome's most infamous gourmand, Apicius. Time for a quick check on our main meats. Nearly there, I think. For the last hour or so, I will bathe the shoulder with a lovely grape and honey sauce to add another layer of flavor to our pork. Of course, no one goes home empty-handed. The rest of the skewers will be wrapped up and shared between the honored guests. The shoulder is nearly done, you can see. So now we wrap it up tightly in foil and into the hot fire for a few minutes. Oh, what's that? Yes, smoked, slow-cooked mutton breast as a bonus too. The barbecue is like an instrument, and the cook is a musician, and he or she combines the boldest sequences, the different notes, some high, some low, for the tongue to taste the food as if it were music, to sense the pleasure of sweet and sharp and discord and concord, for the loudest of laughs and the hungriest of bellies. Now the mutton is done. You can see the meat has retracted from the bones, and you can just pull them off without any effort at all. So sweet and juicy. Just like the modern US-style pork butt, this ancient equivalent is succulent, tender and super smoky. It's been in there for hours after all. You see the smoky ecstasy and taste of heaven with each mouthful. The whole effort and wait for a day or two was worth it. Into my mouth. And there you have it, our unique take of an ancient barbecue feast transported to our modern age. Look at this happy face.